If you're into skateboarding, surfing, or snowboarding, you'll definitely be familiar with the name Vans. Even if you're not into these sports, chances are that you may still have heard of Vans. It's one of the largest shoes, clothing, and accessory brands in the US. This is the incredible story of Vans and its founder, Paul Van Doren. How he went from dropping out of school and mopping the factory floors to building one of the most successful shoe companies in the US. Chapter 1. Life before Vans. Paul Van Doren was born in 1930. He grew up in Boston area in Massachusetts, and he's pretty much a normal fun-loving kid who didn't really like going to school. So he quit school in the 8th grade. Paul was fascinated by horses, and he would go to the racetracks every day. Pretty soon, he started making money at the racetrack. He would charge people to give his odds on the race. He quickly made a reputation for himself and became known as Dutch the Clutch. Early on, Paul showed his entrepreneurial spirit. However, as you would expect, his mother did not like what he was doing. She was furious that he had left school and was spending all of his time at the track, which was not proper work for a kid his age. So one day, Paul's mother took him to Randy's, a nearby shoe factory, and got him a job cleaning the factory floors. This seemingly odd job proved to be the stepping stone Paul needed to build his incredible career. He literally started at the bottom, and over the next 20 years, he worked his way up to becoming the executive vice president of Randy's. By that time, Randy's had become the third largest shoe manufacturer in the US. Chapter 2. The history of an iconic brand. While Randy's was doing really well in the East Coast, one of their factories in California was losing around $1 million a month. The company tasked Paul, his brother Jim, and another employee named Gordon Lee to straighten out the affairs at the California factory. They arrived in California with a mission and accomplished it within just 8 short months. They had turned around the West Coast factory. In fact, the California factory was now doing even better than the one back in Boston. 3 months later, realizing the demand for shoes was high in California, along with 2 decades in the shoe industry, Paul Van Doren quit his job to start his own shoe company. In 1965, Paul partnered with his brother Jim, who was a great engineer, his friend Gordon, who had expertise in management, and Serge Delia, an experienced shoe supplier, to start the Van Doren Rubber Company. Paul and Serge both held 40% share of the company, while Jim and Gordon held 10% each. After a year of hard work, they built the first factory of the Van Doren Rubber Company at 704 East Broadway in Anaheim, California. Along with the factory, they also built a retail store at the same address. The plan was that they would manage the complete supply chain from start to finish in order to cut out the middleman and maximize profits. The company was a success. Despite the initial challenges, they managed to produce high-quality shoes and sell them at the Vans retail store. During the 1980s, Vans became a viral sensation thanks to Jeff Spicoli, a character played by Sean Penn in the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. As part of the character's persona, Sean Penn wore the Vans classic slip-on checkerboard shoes. The movie and the character were both massive hits. In the movie, Sean Penn's character is a typical California surfer, and let's be honest, we all know those guys are cool. As a result of those shoes being featured in the movie, the sales of Vans doubled. Also in the 1980s, the company was expanding. They had found success selling their shoes to skateboarders, surfers, and fashion enthusiasts all across the US. Unfortunately, during that same time frame, they ran into unexpected financial difficulties and filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company faced the same challenges that many startup companies face. They were growing too quickly and were making shoes that ultimately were not profitable. Vans quickly got their act together and made a number of changes to their product line. They shifted their focus to custom designs. Having their entire supply chain in the US was an advantage they weren't capitalizing on either. They had the ability to deliver their shoes much quicker than other shoe brands and had their manufacturing in other countries. Once they realized the advantage that they had and made a few changes to the way that they operated, they were able to pay back their debt and become profitable again. A few years later, the original owners sold Vans to a banking company named McCown, D. Lee & Co. for $7.4 million, who later sold Vans to the VF Corporation. Today, Vans is a multi-billion-dollar company and has become a go-to brand for skateboarding enthusiasts, as well as establishing itself as a great casual fashion brand. According to some reports, the founder of Vans, Paul Van Doren, still works for the company, which is kinda cool. Over the years, Vans has had many issues with different manufacturers and retailers ripping off their original designs. One of the most notable was in 2018 when Vans sued Target for ripping off their old school shoe design, which Vans launched in 1977. At the end of the day, Vans is trying to protect its image as a premium brand. Their shoe retails for $60, while the Target lookalike sells for just $15. Vans may never win any money from the suit. Getting the imposter shoe off the shelves of Target stores nationwide would be considered a win though. Chapter 3. What you didn't know about Vans, and what I learned about Vans in making this video. Now that you know a little bit about the company's history, here are a few really cool facts about Vans that you probably didn't know. I know I certainly didn't know them before making this video. The first Vans shoes didn't have names. Instead, they had a number associated with them to tell them apart. The first Vans shoe was the number 44, which is now known as the Authentic. These shoes cost $4.49 for men and $2.29 for women. Although initially Vans were not designed with skateboarding in mind, the company got an unexpected niche market as more and more skateboarders in California adopted these shoes. Vans quickly realized that their shoes were appealing to skateboarders and began to design the shoes that were specifically made for skateboarders. During the 1970s, Vans was hired by the US Defense Department to make shoes for the Air Force. They made a canvas muckluck boot with a wool lining. Vans has a scholarship program with the Berklee College of Music, known as the Off the Wall Scholarship. The company gives a scholarship to a US citizen who is an outstanding musician with exceptional grades and has a financial need. So, if you check those boxes, you may want to apply. What are your thoughts on the incredible story of Vans? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button and be sure to press the bell icon as well. Don't forget to check back on Mondays because we'll be dropping another interesting business story every week right here on Mogul Monday.